We are going to go next to the start of the day in the Big 12 Conference, doing our game-by-game breakdowns, and talk about this West Virginia upset of Houston. Wow. This is not one I saw coming. I was all in on Houston. I really thought that the Cougars were going to come off that Arizona State game, were going to be very comfortable, and would dominate West Virginia. They had this amazing opportunity in front of them with the easiest remaining schedule of any Big 12 contender. And they totally soiled themselves on Saturday. And where are the Utah fans? I mean, I saw the crowd pictures. Where are you guys? And I say this with all due respect. I don't mean you literally, because if you're on the channel, if you're watching the show, you're a diehard Big 12 or college football fan, you probably were at the game or you would go to a game. You've got a top 25 team for the first time in a few years. You have this huge game at home. Show this team support. I know you're used to being a basketball school, but this is the Big 12. Okay? We care about football. I would argue the Big 12 is still a football-first conference with great basketball. The basketball may be better than the football on the national stage, but this is still a football-first league. And the Houston fan base embarrassed itself and indirectly embarrassed the Big 12 by looking half empty with a top 25 team in the country that has a real chance or had a real chance of getting to a Big 12 championship and making a college football playoff. That was a huge disappointment on Saturday. And then they get routed by West Virginia as double-digit favorites, losing 45-35 against the Mountaineers, giving the Mountaineers their first win of the Big 12 season. And for West Virginia, I'll say this much. It did look like this offense in particular, under true freshman Scotty Fox Jr., is starting to figure out Rich Rod's offense and style. Scotty Fox looked more comfortable. You know, they've gone through, 4 or 5 quarterbacks now this season. And Scotty Fox Jr. was the most comfortable I've seen of anybody this season leading this offense, including Nico Marchiol, who, of course, started the season as the starting quarterback. He threw for 157 yards a week after he threw for 300 against TCU. 3 touchdowns as well. Hubbard in the backfield looked really good. I mean, you've been trying to figure out who's the guy after Jaheim White got hurt. Hubbard was great, rushed for over 100 and a touchdown. And they really got that running game going. And considering Houston's rush defense had been pretty darn good this season, I didn't see that game playing out the way it did with Rich Rod's offense, which you know has to run the ball to be successful, playing out the way it did. So I don't know if it was Houston feeling itself too much coming off of that road win against Arizona State, but I'll tell you what, the turnovers were just killer. West Virginia forced 4 Houston turnovers and converted those into 17 points. And that pick 6 by Connor Wigman felt like just the backbreaker. Second half, they're down 24-21. They're driving. They were moving the ball pretty well. They were just sloppy with it. And that pick 6 from Wigman, I think it was Scruggs who took it back to the house for West Virginia. But that ball, literally, when he released it, and that ball's floating in the air to the near side flat, I'm like, that is the slowest developing pass I've seen at this level in a long time. And I'm looking at that thing. I feel like I'm watching it in slow motion. And I'm like, no. And then boom, Scruggs right there takes it to the house for 6. That was, I couldn't believe how slow that thing developed. It looked like a middle school play. And then he floats it. I don't know if he didn't see the defender or what was going on. But even if there was no defender within 10 yards, that was a slow developing pass and play. And it was like, in real time, I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is not going to go the way I think it's going to go. It's not going to. Oh, it's going to go exactly the way I think it's going to go. And that was, whatever it was, 90 yards the other way to the house. And West Virginia at that point goes up 30-21. And it felt like the game was over at that point. So Houston had this amazing opportunity to solidify itself as a Big 12 contender. You know, some of the contenders that are playing each other on Saturday, you've got Texas Tech and K-State, you've got Cincinnati and Utah, and then Houston has this schedule that is a dream, and they couldn't get it done at home. They entered this weekend with West Virginia, UCF, TCU, and Baylor left. Those four teams entered Week 10 a combined 6-13 in Big 12 play. Nobody had an easier final four-game stretch in this league than Houston. Had they won out, there was a great likelihood that they would be playing in Arlington. Now, it would have depended on a few things. Tiebreakers could have been involved. They probably would not have gotten the benefit of the doubt on the tiebreakers because their schedule has been softer. But wow, I did not see that kind of performance coming, which is a testament to Rich Rod's guys going on the road, banged up this season, 5 different quarterbacks, a lot of key pieces missing, and just grinding out a really solid win, forcing a bunch of turnovers, and taking out a top 25 team that apparently had a little too much mojo going coming out of the Arizona State game last week. So great job by West Virginia and a very good win for the Mountaineers.